How did convicts settle in Australia? How did thousands of men and women, sent to the other side of the world in chains, carve out a new existence in a land so unfamiliar, so unforgiving? The answer is one of struggle, survival, and resilience. In the late 18th century, Britain faced a crisis. Prisons were overflowing, crime was rampant, and the legal system was brutal. Even petty theft could mean exile. With the loss of the American colonies, Britain needed a new solution. And so, the First Fleet set sail for the vast, unknown land of Australia. In 1788, after 8 grueling months at sea, 11 ships landed at Sydney Cove. On board were more than 700 convicts, thieves, forgers, and debtors sent to build Britain's newest penal colony. But what awaited them was nothing like the world they had left behind. The land was harsh. The heat was relentless. The soil was poor, and the food supplies brought from Britain dwindled fast. Convicts were put to work immediately, constructing shelters, clearing land, and laying the foundations of what would become a new settlement. Some collapsed from exhaustion, others starved. Disease spread quickly. For many, survival was a daily battle. Check out our awesome First Fleet Legacy merch in the description and wear a piece of history. Despite the suffering, some convicts found ways to endure. Those with skills, carpenters, blacksmiths, farmers, were given better conditions. A few even earned their freedom, granted land to start new lives as settlers. But freedom was not equal. Former convicts struggled to gain status, and strict British rule ensured that power remained in the hands of the officers and free settlers. But the greatest challenge was not the land, nor the labor. It was the people who had lived there for tens of thousands of years. The British arrival brought devastating consequences for the Aboriginal Australians. Conflict, disease, and displacement followed, forever altering the history of the continent. So, how did convicts settle in Australia? They did it through forced labor. Under brutal conditions, they built, they suffered, they survived. And in doing so, they became the foundation of what would grow into modern Australia. But this foundation was built on struggle, injustice, and resilience. History cannot be undone, but it must be remembered.